The other day while out here sailing with the original Hobie rudder that came with it in 2019, when it hit something, it kind of jammed. So when I got back, I kicked it down, cycled it, it worked, but I wasn't 100% confident that the rudder system, not the rudder itself, the cables from the handles might need tensioning, and I wanted to inspect the rudder post and the rudder drum and those components to make sure that I didn't need to replace some parts. And as I thought about it, if I'm going to do all that work, now would be a good time to put on a BooneDox Rudder. We'll get out here a little deeper before we play around, so we don't continue to test the rudder kicking up. Looking ahead, I see the water turning from brown to green. That's usually a good sign. So we got a really good gusty wind, and that wind's kicking up a pretty good wind swell, especially in this area where the water is a little bit shallow. So let's try this again. Let's do a hard right, followed by a hard left. And bear in mind, the boat speed was a little slow after I turned into that swell, so that kind of put a bigger demand on the rudder. So it didn't seem that impressive of a turn, but the fact that it could still turn when the boat is going slow is an improvement over the stock Hobie rudder. A lot of people have put on really oversized rudder. I didn't want to, because I wanted to still have the freedom of loading and unloading it out of my Avalanche or on and off the Malone trailer or on and off the BooneDox stand. And normally with the standard rudder, I could do that without using that rudder extension protector that clips into the H-rail on the back. I could do that without using that. With this one, I may have to use that extension, but I still have nearly the same clearance. It's maybe just a touch wider at the bottom than the Hobie rudder, and it's a touch longer. So we got some decent water. Let's do a left 360. And notice, due to wind and tide, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not exactly setting the Hobie speed record for Outbacks, but that's a pretty tight turn. Come back to straight. What I am learning is yours truly, that be me, didn't do as good a job as I thought I did on tensioning the rudder cables. So I'm going to have to redo that when I get back. And I also want to do a sail test to see how much better the boat sails with the more powerful rudder. So let's go a hard right. Yeah, this is definitely tighter than a stock Outback rudder would turn it. It's turning it pretty much on a dime. Ooh. I got to be a little careful here, because if I run aground on this side, the wind's going to pin me to the bottom. If I inadvertently run aground, I want to be on the upwind side of the channel. Just split the fins, retract the rudder, and let the wind bring me back into deeper water. Let's do a little zigzag. Yeah. That's doing good, because it's fighting both wind and current here. It's running with wind and current in one direction and fighting it when I reverse into the swell. And I don't have any lack of confidence that I can control the boat. So I'm really happy with that. I'm gonna get myself a little upwind. I'm gonna retract the rudder. You hear it retract, release it. And you kind of hear it coming down. Even with the stock rudder, I formed the habit of whenever I uncleat it and extend it, I just sweep it right, sweep it left. And with the stock rudder, granted it's 2019 kayak, it's 7 years old. I needed to do that to get that plastic rudder to flip down. This one doesn't appear that I need to do anything other than uncleat it, release the cable, and the weight of the rudder brings it down quite nicely. So that's an improvement as well. So a lot of people have put on an even bigger oversized rudder. I was reluctant to do that because if you get too much rudder control, so I think this is a nice blend of more precision than the stock Hobie rudder, but not so much rudder that the boat might turn too sharply, especially when you're doing 5 to 6 miles an hour on the transom mount motor. Well, I'm out here. I'm just going to enjoy pedaling around here. When you're in this kind of condition of strong winds that are also going to give you a wind swell, whether there's a swell from the current or not, I was planning on also doing a sail test on it, but because I need to further tension the cables, that has nothing to do with BooneDox or their product or Hobie. It's normal maintenance. And when I went into doing it, being an amateur, I didn't quite get as good a job as I didn't quite do as good a job as I'd like. So we're gonna save the sail test till after I have a better tensioning on the cables, because right now my handles are a little sloppy. But even with that, notice I can turn it on a dime. Actually, you won't do that with a stock Hobie rudder. Let's say I was about to hit that post. Can I come back the other way and steer away from it? Yeah. So that's working well. Okay, we've got the wind and sea at our stern. Let's see how well the rudder performs when we pedal downwind, down swell. Do a little left. Your other left, idiot. Do a little left. Do a little right. There's a gust of wind, a little left into that gust of wind, a little right, and there we are. There we go. If I steer if only the right one, it performs very well because that handle I got a reasonable tension on. The left one is sloppy, but my tension isn't so bad that I don't have control over it. I would just be concerned with the sail. When you've got a lot of pressure on the sail, then that slop might cause a lack of precision in helming the kayak under sail. You go over here, see what happens when we run aground and the rudder kicks up. The interesting thing there is we'll probably start to run aground with the fins as well, and I'll be going to a flutter kick. I can see the bottom. So we're doing just a short flutter kick. So even in this strong wind, a Mirage Drive, when you're flutter kicking it, still has a fair amount of control. So let's go around to the right. I've got enough depth that I can use a full kick again. So we're going to take it back and park it, shut the cameras off. Hopefully, we got something we can make a video out of. So that concludes our test and review of the BooneDox Upgrade Rudder on a 2019 Outback. It gave some new life into a 7-year-old kayak. So we'd like to thank you for watching. If you would, hit the like button. And if you find it useful, we'll have more videos, so hit the subscribe button so you can be notified. Thanks again.